Everything has changed. It is now the time for the color purple. No one could wear the color purple except for the royal family. The Roman citizens could wear a little stripe of purple, but that was all. Purple is a serious color, and something serious is about to happen. A king is coming, but he is not the kind of king that people thought was coming. This king had no army, no great house, and no riches. This king was a baby who was born in a barn.
The king who was coming is still coming. This is full of mystery. You know, a mystery is hard to enter sometimes. That is why this time of Advent is so important. Sometimes people can walk right through a mystery and not even know it is there. This time of year, you will see people hurrying in the malls, buying things and doing this and that, but they will miss the mystery. They don't know how to get ready, or maybe they just forgot.
The church learned a long time ago that people need a way to get ready to enter or even to come close to a mystery like Christmas. The church set aside 4 weeks to get ready. This is such a great mystery that it takes that long to get ready. During this time, we are all on the way to Bethlehem. We are making the journey. We're getting ready to enter the mystery of Christmas. So let's go with the prophets, with the Holy Family, with the shepherds, the angels, the magi, and all the rest to make the journey that was not just back then, it's also now. So the first week of Advent was all about the prophets. This is the hand of the prophets showing people, pointing the way. Prophets are people who came so close to God, and God comes so close to them that they know which way God wants them to go. Stop, watch, pay attention, they tell us. Something exciting is about to happen in Bethlehem. This is the candle of the prophets. Let's take a moment to enjoy the light of the prophet candle. During the second week of Advent, which was 2 weeks ago now, we had the card for the Holy Family. They were on their way to Bethlehem, and here is the path they took along their journey. Here is the Mother Mary. And here is the Father Joseph. And here is their donkey that they rode all the way to Bethlehem. Mary was about to have a baby. And so when you're about to have a baby, it can be very difficult to walk. So when she couldn't take another step, she rode the donkey. And when you're about to have a baby, it can also be very difficult to ride a donkey. So when she couldn't ride the donkey for another step, she got down and walked. And they must have been among the last people that night to make it to Bethlehem, for their journey was long and slow. And so this light for the second week of Advent is the light of the Holy Family. So we have the light of the prophets, and now we have the light of the Holy Family. Let us enjoy the light. So last week was the third Sunday in Advent. And on the third Sunday in Advent, we remember the shepherds. This is the card of the shepherds, and we have a sheep here to remind us about the shepherds. We can actually take one of the sheep from our Holy Family to help us remember the shepherds. Here's our shepherd. It's just one shepherd. There were probably many shepherds who were trying to stay awake that night out in the cold, dark field. They were keeping watch over their sheep to make sure that the wolves didn't get them in the night. And while they were there, watching over the sheep and their flocks, a great light appeared in the sky, and that made the shepherds afraid. Their hearts were beating so loudly that when they could hear something besides the beating of their hearts, they thought they heard singing in the sky. And that also scared them until they heard the words of the song. The angels were singing something like this: "Don't be afraid." And the angels often have to say things like that. Messengers of God appear to people, and we think of angels, with these, sometimes they're feminine with wings, and they're angelic and they're beautiful voices, but oftentimes in the Bible, they're kind of scary men who show up unexpectedly, and they bring fear, so they have to tell people, do not be afraid. And the angels singing sounded something like this: "Do not be afraid, we bring you tidings of great joy. Peace on earth, goodwill to everyone. A child is born. Go, hurry, run to Bethlehem to see the child who will change everything." And so this is the candle of the prophets, and this is the candle of the Holy Family, and this is the candle of the shepherds. You might notice there's something different about this candle. It's a different color. It's the color of roses. And the color of roses is to remind us that even during this serious time of preparation, we need to remember to be joyful, because there's so much joy that came when Christ came into the world. And we also remember this particular week with the color of roses because it reminds us that roses are often associated with the Mother Mary, and without the Mother Mary, there would not be a baby Jesus. So we light this candle of joy, this rose-colored candle, to remind us to be joyful and to be thankful for the Mother Mary. So let's take a moment to enjoy its light. So today is the 4th Sunday in Advent. You can see what's happening. We're getting closer and closer to Bethlehem. So this is our 4th plaque, and you can see now we have 4 candles, and we have 3 crowns for 3 wise people. We have these 3 kings. Here's a king, a magi, and here's another. They carried gold and frankincense and myrrh as gifts for the baby Jesus. So on the 4th Sunday in Advent, we remember the journey that these 3 kings, the magi, the wise men, made to Bethlehem. They came from far in the east, and they were so wise that people thought that they were magic. In fact, that's where we get our word magic. From the name they were called in their own language, the Magi. Of all the things that they knew the most about the stars. And so they knew where all of the stars were supposed to be in the sky each time of the year. And one night, as they were looking up into the sky, they saw a wild star. It was one that wasn't on any of their charts and any of their maps. And so they decided to follow that star. And they followed that star all the way to Bethlehem. They came from so far that by the time that they got to Bethlehem, baby Jesus had already been born. So they're always late, it seems. Every year they're late. They don't usually show up until around January 6th. But we remember them anyway, because like us, they too were on the way to Bethlehem. So here is our light for the prophets. Here's our light for the Holy Family. Here's our light, our joyful light for the shepherds. And here is our light for the Magi. We'll light it together. And then we'll take a moment to enjoy the light of the Magi. So we're not quite to the end of our journey to Bethlehem just yet, but I'm going to give you a little peek at what lies ahead. So I'm going to roll out the rest of our underlay and show you something that comes next is a different color. It is pure white, the color of pure joy. It's pure white because it's when we celebrate the coming of the baby Jesus. And I'll show you our plaque. Our plaque is also pure white with a star, and we have a white candle. So here we have the Christ child. And on Christmas Day, we will celebrate together the mystery of Christmas. So this is amazing, but of all the creatures there that night, perhaps the most amazed was the old cow. So we'll put the old cow from our Holy Family at the manger, because when the cow went to have breakfast, the cow looked down into the manger, and where the food for the cow, the hay and the grain usually were, there was the baby Jesus. And so for Christmas Day, we will have a beautiful white candle. And I don't have a fancy candle here at home, but I'm going to light this candle just as kind of a foretaste of what is to come. And so before we go, we're going to take a minute to enjoy all of our light. And then we're going to take a moment and we're going to change the light. So this light is in one place at one time. But when we extinguish the light and you see the smoke, it is going into all places and all times, because Christmas is not just something that happened in Bethlehem a long, long time ago. It's something that happens and is happening all the time. And so I'm imagining this smoke going into Amelia's house and Everett's house and Claire and Izzy and Maddie's house. And I'm imagining this smoke going up to Rachel and Cal and Wheeler's room and through the window panes and out into the neighborhood and throughout all of Utah and throughout all of the United States and across the oceans and all over the world, through the cosmos, through all light and all space, to all children and to all people everywhere, because that is the joy of Christmas, that Christ comes to each and every one of us, no matter where we are, no matter what our circumstances. Each and every one of us is a precious child of God. So Merry Christmas, and don't forget the greatest gift of all, the baby Jesus.